I read a report today, folks. I read one earlier this week. I think they've done 2 nights. Is it the Terence Higgins Cancer Trust, the thing that Roger Daltrey's fronted over the last 20 odd years? I think it's his last year at the helm this year. He's about 80 and he's walking away and let someone else take over the baton. I think the Who played there on Monday. In fact, I think they played on Monday. I think they're playing again tonight with an all-star lineup, or tomorrow. But I read a quick review today of the Monday concert and it sounds like it was absolutely brilliant. For 2 people that are in and around 80, they're brilliant for their age, they really are. But as grumpy as ever. Townsend reminds me of me, extremely grumpy. And I think Roger's had his moments, don't worry about that. It was saying anyway, saying it was fantastic. Probably Roger's voice isn't quite what it was, but it's not a million miles away. For his age, it's absolutely phenomenal as far as I can gather. They said the concert was superb, absolutely brilliant. They had a big string section, a big orchestra and whatever else. That it was absolutely fantastic. Did a lot of the songs out of Tommy and lots of other stuff. He says there's a part there where Daltrey says, and next we're going to do Tommy, and Townsend said, that's not on the set list, I've not seen that one. And Daltrey said, well, I can't see without my glasses and I can't see the set list, it looked like Tommy to me. Townsend said, well, we might as well play it then. And they just played it. Unbelievable, really, absolutely unbelievable. And he's saying, he said, some old fart wrote these songs 50 odd years ago, said Townsend, meaning himself. And Daltrey said, shut up you F-U-C-K idiot, or something of that ilk, and everybody laughed. I believe Townsend's got a hearing aid now and he controls it with his phone, and seemingly was struggling to hear some other things whilst he's playing because somebody else in the audience is on their phone and they're interfering with his hearing aid, and he's complaining about that. He said, if I find out who you are, I'll either shoot you or have you thrown out. But I do believe the concert was brilliant. I think it was an hour and a half, 2 hours of absolute banger after banger after banger. I know they said gems, but the young ones said banger, so that one's for the young ones. I believe it was great. So, yeah, I've seen him a few times, not for a good while now. Unluckily for me, never ever seen him with Moon the Loon. That's one of my great regrets in my concert life. One of my great regrets that, but still, seen them when they were in the Pomp, they were fantastic. Great band. I believe they've been brilliant. But what else did he? I think I wrote something down that I wanted to tell you. I bet I've not even got it here, whatever it is. What is it? Because there was something that I thought was pretty good. I've not wrote it down. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, by all accounts, they were absolutely fantastic. So if you were lucky enough to go, good on you. If not, you need to go soon if you possibly can, because they're not going to be playing many more times now, I wouldn't have thought. But no, I believe they were absolutely... Oh, I'll tell you what. I knew what I wanted to tell you. Heard a bit of an interview on Sounds of the 70s on Sunday. Now, you know I'm plugging it all the time. I always do. I love it. If you watch this channel, you should be listening to old Johnny Boy, Johnny Walker with Sounds of the 70s. Best programme on the radio by an absolute country mile. They did a couple of little clips of a couple of old interviews they did with Daltrey years and years ago. And he said, how are you and Pete now? He said, I love him. He said, we really get on. He said, we've had our ups and downs. He said, don't get me wrong. He said, he's a right grumpy old bugger. He said, but I can be just the same. We rub each other up the wrong way sometimes, but he said, we're like family now. We've been together that long. There's only 2 of us left. We do love one another. He said, but we've had a couple of fisticuffs through the ages, and your man said, Johnny said, I believe you have, Roger. He said, but I believe you could handle yourself. He said, I wasn't bad. He said, yeah, your punching power, your punching is legendary. I believe you're not somebody to get on the wrong side of, Roger. You've laid a couple of people out. He said, no, it's not quite like that. I said, what it was, I'm only a little fella, me. People don't realise how small I am. And when I was younger, I actually got bullied. I got bullied a lot. And then I learned to box and defend myself. He said, and from that moment, he said, most people that tried to bully me, I wanted to pick a fight because I'm small, was bigger than me. And I realised in the very early days, hit them first. He said, so whenever there's confrontation, and I think it's going to develop into a fight, before I know whether it's going to develop into a fight or not, I make sure it does develop into one, because I put one on somebody's nose. And he said, often I believe you knock them over, you knock them down. He said, yeah, pretty often. I'm pretty handy. He said, but don't think I knock them all down. He said, the big ones sometimes are hard to put down. He said, I've had some beatings myself, don't you worry about that. He said, but I always make sure I get a dig in first and I hurt him. He said, and often it makes them not want to come back for more. And I thought, that's the way to do it, Roger. That's the way to do it. Don't let your size bother you. It's hard enough. They won't want to know. But yeah, I thought it was a nice little interview, and the concert review was fantastic. They said they've gone out with an even bigger band than they came in on, and that was a clue to another group from the same era who've concert toured under that name. And this fellow was saying the Who knock that other group absolutely for 6. At this moment in time, he said the Who are doing it and can do it at their age, the other bands of their age do it to a fashion, but not like The Who do. Well, doesn't surprise me. The Who were always absolutely sensational live, and I believe even in their 80s they still cut in the mustard. So, well done Roger, well done Peter. Obviously you're missing old Johnny Boy there and Keith, but you're carrying the mantle manfully. Well done. Well, did I say that right? I think I did.